So in today's video, I'm going to replace the fan on my HyperDeck Mini Studio, this guy right here, and we're going to replace the stock fan because it's super noisy and I want to have it up on my desk. And it's just too noisy to be in my regular workflow right here where I can reach everything. So we're going to take that stock fan out and we're going to replace it with this Noctua fan. This is model NF-A4X20PWM. Okay, so to get started, we're going to take some sound samples, first of the room itself, and then we'll plug in the HyperDeck Mini Studio and get a sound sample with that running. Now, this is just for the original HyperDeck Mini Studio, not the new models that were released. And I also want to mention, if you do this, it's going to void your warranty. Now, I don't care that it voids the warranty because it's just so loud and I can't have it here on my desk in front of me with all the rest of my equipment the way this fan is. So I'm going to go ahead, and I know I'm going to void my warranty, and that's my choice. Also, if you go ahead with this process, I am not taking any liability. If you do any damage to your HyperDeck Mini Studio, you are proceeding at your own risk. Now that we have that out of the way, let me switch to my overhead camera so we can show you the process. Okay, so you can see that the sound sample of just the room alone was around 28 to 29. So now let's go ahead and get the HyperDeck Mini Studio plugged in and we'll take a sample with the unit running. Okay, we have the HyperDeck Mini Studio plugged in. It's just going to take a second to fire up. Once it's up and running, I'll show you the reading with the HyperDeck Mini Studio running. Okay, so the HyperDeck Mini Studio has fully engaged, and I'm going to switch now back to camera, the overhead camera, so you can see the reading. Okay, so you can see with the HyperDeck Studio Mini running that it jumped up from 28, 29 to around 47, 48. So a considerable difference. That said, let's go ahead and get the HyperDeck Mini Studio opened up so that we can get the fan replaced. Okay, so to open up the HyperDeck, you have to remove 4 screws on each side. There's 4 on this side and there's 4 on the other side. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, remember, this will void your warranty. Okay, so now that we have all 8 screws out, let's remove the cover. And let's take a look inside. Okay, so here's the stock fan right here, and if you follow the wires down, you can see the connector right in there. You have a heat sink here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the fan. Now there are 2 more screws, once you release the cover, that become exposed that hold the fan in place. So let's go ahead and remove those now. So now that we've removed the stock fan, we can go ahead and install the Noctua fan. However, the connectors are different. Even though the Noctua fan came with a bunch of different connectors, none of them fit the port on the board inside the HyperDeck Studio Mini. So that said, we're going to have to actually cut the stock fan wires and use the connector from the stock fan and splice it into the wires of the Noctua fan. So now, again, this will void your warranty, so if you're not comfortable doing this, then please do not proceed. And you can see the colors. I don't know if you can see those colors, but I'll read them out to you. It's black, yellow, blue, and red on the stock fan. And then on the Noctua fan, you have, I don't know if you can see this, but it's black, yellow, green, and blue. So we're going to have to pair them up correctly. Now, sadly enough, the Noctua fan comes with all these different adapters, but none of these adapters fit the actual port in the HyperDeck. So let's take a look at how we're going to pair these two sets of wires together and match them up correctly. I've created a diagram to help with this process. So if you take a look at the diagram on the screen, we have the connector side and then we have the fan side. So we're going to go black to black. On the connector side, we're going to go red to the yellow on the fan side. Then we're going to go yellow on the connector side to the green on the fan side. And we're going to go blue to blue. Now that said, I'm going to go ahead and cut them. In fact, I'll cut the cables in front of you now so you can see. So here's the fan connector. We're just going to go ahead and cut that. I'm going to leave enough. And then we're going to take the actual Noctua fan now. Here it is. There it is. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this as well. So now that we have both connectors cut, I'm just going to proceed by temporarily splicing the wires together and just covering them with a little piece of tape, just for the purposes of this video and to test out the theory if the fan actually makes the HyperDeck quieter. If it does, then I'll go back and I will off camera use a soldering iron and solder those to make a good solid connection. Okay, so now that I have all the wires temporarily spliced together, and again, I'm not going to leave them like this. I will solder good connections if this works. Let's go ahead and get the fan installed and fire up the HyperDeck Mini Studio. If you're finding any value in this type of content, please go ahead and smash that like button. Now, let's get back to the video. And there we go, the fan is on. And the HyperDeck has kicked up. Okay, so now that we have the HyperDeck booted up, let's go ahead. By the way, here's the old fan. Let's go ahead and get a sound level check comparing to the original. The original was around 30, just the room noise, and then with the HyperDeck spun up before we changed the fan, I think it was up around 47, 48, so we'll take a gander now and see what it is. So you can see we considerably lowered the noise level of the HyperDeck Mini by replacing the stock fan with the Noctua fan. So if you found any value in today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check out some of the other videos that I have listed here up above. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. And I want to thank you for using the Amazon affiliate links. I know they don't change your price, but they do help out the channel. My name is Tony with Quik Tech Solutions. As always, please stay safe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. And as always, I'd like to thank our Patreon supporters. And if you would like to help support the channel, there's links to the Patreon page and PayPal down in the video description.